God, today as I pray, I ask these things. Expand my prayer to have faith of a mustard seed on behalf of those in need. Expand my expectations to think outside the box with hope for those who feel hopeless. Expand my heart to feel empathy towards people I never even thought to care about. Expand my reach to connect with the ones I thought were too far gone. Expand my vision to see the need in front of me that I am totally blind to. Expand my generosity to obey your prompting and give without hesitation. Expand my mercy to love without judgment or explanation. Expand my influence to inspire others to do the same. Expand my service to do more with less when needed. Expand my light to champion and love people of every color. And expand my mind to seek justice the way you desire, Father. All these things I ask, Lord, to expand your kingdom in my community. Amen.
So tonight we're starting a new series here at Worship Uncoiled, and this title of the series is simply called Influencers. And so this month we are going to talk about being influencers in this world for Jesus. What does it look like to be an influencer for Jesus? And maybe when you hear the word influencers, your first thought, the first thing you go to is your favorite YouTube influencer. Maybe you think of Dude Perfect or Mr. Beast. We gave away a Mr. Beast candy bar earlier tonight. Maybe it's someone that you think of like your favorite podcast, someone you listen to as you think about influencers. But the truth is that every single person in this room has someone in your life that looks to you as an influencer. Every single person in this room have people in your life that look at the way you're living, and you have the opportunity to influence them and draw them closer to Christ. And so I'm going to go ahead and just up front share with you where we're headed this entire month. We're going to be hanging out in the book of James, chapter 1. And James chapter 1 says this, starting in verse 19. Know this, my dear brothers and sisters. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to grow angry. Because an angry person doesn't produce God's righteousness. So these will be our main topics all month long. Tonight we're going to talk about this idea that we should be quick to listen. That listening should be the first thing we do when we encounter the people around us. Next week, we're going to talk about being slow to speak and what that looks like in our own lives. And then the following week, we're going to talk about being slow to grow angry and what that means for us. And these will be the topics that we go to. But if we are going to be the best influencers that we can be to the people around us, these are some excellent life skills that we can begin to put into place now in our lives that will go a long way in our relationships with others. So tonight we're going to talk about being quick to listen. We're going to start off tonight with an activity, all right? So here's what I need. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I need you 4 to form a line down this aisle. And I need you 3 and Brinkley to form a line down this aisle. And then Tate, Luna, Lucian, and Wyatt, I need you guys to form a line down this aisle. Right here, right up front. All right, so here's what's going to happen. We're going to do an activity tonight. It is a combination. Take a few steps back. Start right there at the beginning of the rows. There we go. You guys are good. You guys are good. We're going to do a combination. This is going to be a race. It's going to be telephone, which you guys have played before. But here's the way this is going to work. The person in front is going to say something to the next person, the next person, the next person, quietly so the whole crowd can't hear you. And then the last person is going to do whatever that person tells them to do, whatever the thing on the card says. All right, so we're going to combine this with internet trends and influences that have happened over the years. All right, so I will hand everybody the first one, and then I'll say 1, 2, 3, go, and you guys can start. First group done. I do have some candy up here, so first group done can come get some candy. So there's that group. You will whisper this line to the person behind you, and then they will whisper it to the person behind them, and then the last person in line has to do what this thing on the paper says. Okay, the answer was yell hardcore parkour while running and jumping. Parkour was an internet trend where you jumped around and did stuff off of craziness. All right, round number 2. Are you guys ready for round number 2? Oh, she got it! Turn in a circle and dab it out. Well done. Come get some candy. Nicely done. You guys got it. Well done. Come get some candy, and we'll set up our third one. All right. Third one. All right, that one was turn in a circle and dab it out. Turn in a circle and dab it out. Here you go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Nice! They got it! Well done! Come grab some candy. Everybody can come grab some candy. Practice your planking on a row of chairs. Planking was an old thing where you just laid flat on random objects just to be silly. So we understand that in games like this, we should be quick to listen. We should be listening very well. We should be listening very quickly. And James, in the book of James, he lays this out very clearly, that being quick to listen is a high priority in our lives. When we are in relationships with other people, when we are experiencing conversations with other people, people we agree with, people we disagree with, people we're in arguments with, people we're having a good time with, the first thing that we should do is to be quick to listen. I want to read James 1:19 through 20 again. Know this, my dear brothers and sisters. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to grow angry. Because an angry person does not produce God's righteousness. We should be quick to listen. And so, at its heart, being quick to listen means so much more than just hearing what someone says. Being quick to listen means so much more than just hearing the words that are coming out of their mouths. Being quick to listen means that we hear with understanding. We really hear what the other person is saying. Being quick to listen means that we create space for them to express their feelings and emotions. We create this safe area where the person can express themselves in a real way. Being quick to listen means that we try to empathize and view a certain situation, perhaps even for the first time, from a different perspective than we have ever viewed it before. And when we listen like this, when we create safe spaces, when we do more than just hear the words that are coming out of their mouth, but we really, really hear. We hear with understanding. We create a safe space. We try to view it from maybe a perspective that we've never viewed it before. Powerful things happen in our relationships. And sometimes listening like this is easy. When we're hanging out with friends and we're all having a good time, when we're with our family and we're just talking around the dinner table. But there are times in life when being quick to listen becomes difficult. And it's in these moments, hear me, when it is difficult to be quick to listen, it's in those moments when being quick to listen is most important. It's in the difficult moments when it's most important, because it's in those moments where if we don't listen well, we miss an opportunity to be an influencer in someone's life. Listening in these moments can be really, really hard. It's difficult to listen when you disagree with someone. So often we get in this mode where we just try to prove our point. We try to prove ourselves right. And so they're talking and we're immediately thinking of a rebuttal. We're immediately thinking of what we have to say. And in the end, what happens is we debate and we try to prove a point and we miss hearing what the other person is saying and feeling and thinking. It's difficult when someone is struggling, and it seems like to you that the answer is so obvious, like just do this one thing, and we tend to jump to fixing the situation, and we focus on the solution, and in those moments, we miss opportunities to hear the hurt and the struggle and the emotions that are going on in people's lives. It's difficult to listen when someone is telling you that you hurt them and your defenses come up and you begin to put up walls and get excuses and explain yourself away. But if we can listen in those moments, our relationships can grow stronger, and our trust in our relationships can be something that is absolutely incredible. Listening can be hard. And you can ask these kids sitting in this front row, they often, I wouldn't say often, but relatively regularly, they have to look at me and be like, Dad, you're not listening to me. And that's my cue that I need to take a step back. I need to take a step back, and I really need to listen. They're so good at expressing that in those moments. Listening can be really, really hard. And here's what I've come to realize. As a dad, and as a husband, and as a friend, when I don't listen well, when I am not quick to listen, it makes the people around me feel less valued. It hurts the relationship I have with the people around me. And when I don't listen well, it breaks the influence that I have with others. Let me say that again, because I think this is really, really important. When I don't listen well, it makes the people around me feel less valued. When I don't listen well, it hurts the relationship I have with the people around me. And when I don't listen well, it breaks the influence that I have with others. But when I listen, relationships grow. When I listen, people feel loved and valued. They thrive. When I listen well in the midst of struggle and pain, when I listen with people that maybe disagree with me, that we're more willing to have an open and honest conversation without getting angry. And we can respect one another and grow together, and maybe both of us take a step forward in our life and in our faith. And ultimately, what we want for the people that are around us is to feel valued and loved, to know that they are loved with the love of Jesus. What we want for our relationships is for our relationships to grow and be strong, be incredible, for there to be trust and love and openness. And what we want in the midst of disagreements is not anger, but we want the opportunity to share an open and honest conversation. And all of those things happen in our lives when we take this first step, when we are quick to listen. James 1:19 and 20, know this, my dear brothers. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to grow angry. Because anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires. So how can we practice this in a real and practical way? How can we be people that really dive in, and when we go home tonight and we're around our family, when we go to school tomorrow and we're around our friends, we can begin to practice this idea of being quick to listen, growing our relationships by taking this first step. First thing is this: make eye contact. Make eye contact and control your facial expressions. Eye contact goes a long way. This is one of the best ways that we can listen well, when we make eye contact. And then control your facial expressions. This is really important when we disagree with someone, because I could make eye contact right now with Brinkley, but if I'm going, right? That says something completely on my face, right? And so when we can control our facial expressions and make eye contact and express respect, when we can express love to the other person, that goes a long way. Second thing is this: resist the urge to think of what you're going to say while they're speaking. This is a hard one. Resist the urge of thinking of what you are going to say while they're talking. It's so important, because if you are thinking about what you are going to say, you're not really hearing what they're saying. When we're thinking about what we are going to say, we are moving into the quick to speak when we should be slow to speak. So make eye contact and control your facial expressions. Resist the urge to think about what you're going to say while they're talking. Number 3, let the other person finish completely, and then pause. Pause. And ask yourself this question: am I trying to immediately dismiss what they're saying? If we can get in this habit of asking ourselves this question, especially in disagreements and arguments, especially when we find ourselves on the different sides of whatever it may be, am I trying to immediately dismiss what they're saying? If the answer is yes, take a step back, ask some more questions, get some more clarification. Let someone finish what they're saying, and then pause before we jump in. Last thing, be curious. Be curious. Ask questions. Figure out why they are saying the things that they're saying. Figure out why they're feeling the things that they're feeling. Get to know what they are thinking and what's going on in their head and in their heart and in their minds. If we can begin to practice being quick to listen, we will begin to grow our relationships. If we can begin to practice being quick to listen, we can begin to be influencers in the relationships in our lives. People will trust us. We can be people that will express the love of Jesus in some very real ways to the people around us. And so my practical challenge is simply this. This week, just choose one of these to begin working on. Maybe for you, it's making eye contact. Maybe for you, it's really listening and resisting the urge to think about what you're going to say next. Maybe it's letting the person finish. Maybe it's being curious. But choose one of these, and in your conversations this week with your family, with your friends, with the people that you experience while you do your extracurriculars, begin to work on really listening. Because James is so practical and he's so right. When we can be quick to listen, that's the first step in producing the righteousness of God in our relationships. Let me pray for you guys. God, thank you so much for tonight.